Welcome to Drumard Farm, episode 12, with me, MrSealyp. We're back on Drumard Farm, and I thought I'd take this opportunity to go for an early morning stroll, 10 to 7 in the morning. Fantastic day. Just take a wander up the lane. My field up the top of the hill there is growing nicely. See what jobs are available. What have we got? Just a bit of spraying with a little T5. How much do I want for this field? 50,000, is that all? What I'm going to do, I'm going to do the job. I might buy this for 50,000. That's, you know, one load of, well, one well-paid load, but one load of wood chips. And that does mean when I do the next harvest, at the top of the hill, I could plough this right the way through and have a really big field here. Yeah, look. I mean, I'd lose that track a little bit, but that would make it a huge field. I might do that for 50 grand. Oh yeah, I seem quite surprised by that, but that's an amazing price. Oops, missed some. Too busy talking, getting overexcited. See, sometimes it's just worth going for a walk. Enjoy the fresh air, listen to the birds. And then you stumble across a really well-priced field. To be fair, the fields on this map aren't silly prices anyway, which is fantastic. After me getting not bogged down on this, but like I said, I had a couple of comments left about how I was neglecting law folds and I was doing them all on this, and went over to law folds, and then on the first episode back on law folds I said, oh, you always forget how good a map is, then just got completely hooked and absorbed on that. Have I mentioned before I might have a slightly addictive personality? Quite possibly. But as I said before, only for games and things like that. I'm not, you know, not an addict. It's just taking longer than it should be. It's because I'm too busy yakking and not actually doing the job I should be doing. Less talk, more work, MrSealyp. Considering I'm going to buy this field, it's going to be in the right state. Okay, well, just over 2,000 for doing it. What's it worth now? 49,498. Fantastic, that's now mine. Sunflowers growing, I believe, yes. And then when that's all done, that's going to be great. Right the way through. I have to check and see. I don't suppose much has been done on this one. Let's go. We have just bought field 29. And it says soil composition. It will need ploughing. It's only had one spray. Yeah. Not ideal because it's quite small. But when I combine it with field 28, yeah, that'd be good. Hooray! Right. Let's move on. I'll now wander around. Oh, it's more of a run now actually than a leisurely walk, isn't it? Running around the countryside like a maniac. Potatoes appear to be growing nicely. They should be on their final growth state as well. So they won't be long, and then I'll be able to get some potatoes done. I suppose I can't spend the whole episode just going for a leisurely walk around the map, much as that would be quite pleasurable. You know, sometimes when you're playing this, you stop and you listen. And you can hear the birds tweeting and all the rest of it. You think, I just feel like going out for a walk in the countryside and just sitting under a tree, spending a good couple of hours just listening. I know it sounds sad, but something I noticed the other day, driving through that little lane around the back, you've got a little plot of land here. Not quite sure what. I suppose you might be able to get a small little 3-metre something in here. Put something in the ground. Maybe a little sugar beet patch, or maybe put some sunflowers in here. I'm sure it shows up on the map. Behind the little farmhouse next door. Yeah, it's just here. Probably because my little icon's right directly over it. Let me move out the way. Get out of the way, you silly man. Yeah, there you go. Just above my cursor there. Little patch. Now, another decision I've come to. As I was playing on law folds and got massive amounts of sheep, I have bought sheep that are up on the top of the hill. I think this is going to be a dairy farm. I'm going to go for a dairy farm on this one. I'll get a few pigs, just a handful, but this is going to be predominantly a dairy farm, I've decided. So I'm going to go heavy on cows on this one. I think that will be a good idea. That said, I haven't got any yet. Today seems to be a day of luck. It seems to be just everything working out, slotting into place. Just come from wood chipping over there, bring the lorry back. If you look directly across there, field 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8 are ready to harvest. Fantastic. Right, so let's jump in the harvester. What do I need? I'm doing barley. So I'm going to need the long header. Let's head over there. I was thinking about ploughing one of these out as another field, but the grass fields do come in very handy. But I do seem to have a lot around this farm here. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with them. I could use one for putting greenhouses in, actually. Not sure. I will do the barley field first, simply because I want to do the bales to take over to Drumard. That's of course if I can manage to get this off the trailer. We will see, won't we? I've just realised what I've done. Because I've got used to using the ones they've got a built-in trailer. I need this to one side. This is not going to work, is it? Open it up. Rock it back on the old suspension, and hopefully as I left it just on the edge and not over that lip. Perfect. I just had to make sure the straw swath was enabled, considering that's what I'm doing it for. There we go. I don't know how many bales I'm going to get off this, not a huge amount, but it's going to be more than I got off the last one, the wheat field that hadn't had anything done to it. It was only half this when I first started the map, so whatever I get will be good. To get the trailer over here, and I will need to get the baler. I wouldn't have thought the yield's going to be too high, so I've just grabbed this trailer, just see if I can get to it across front of the traffic before it gets to the other end of the field, and I can unload on this run up. Should be able to. It's very noisy, so I will speak up. Barley will go into storage. Generally speaking, I would use the auger wagon if I've got a big trailer, like on the lorry, and I don't want to put the lorry onto the field. I would use that. So while he waits, I'll go and get the baler set up. Should be over here. Well, over here. Over there. Oh, that was close. The arrival of the lean green baling machine. Or should I say lean greens baling machine? Okay, see how we get on. Already had some in here, obviously. Oh, that's that first little bit sorted. Baling's baling. When you've seen it done once, you've seen it done a million times, but it's all part of the day-to-day. The yield should be far better off this field than it was originally because I've done more to it with regard to ploughing, 3 fertiliser states, all the rest of it, so hopefully I'll get a few off this. Although I'm going to need to invest in a trailer. I haven't got a Bale trailer. Just suddenly realised. How very remiss of me. Nearly full grain tank. I will bounce between the baling and the collecting of grain. I think the baler should turn the harvester should turn round, so I should be able to unload it fine. First of all, and off we go. It would appear that I did underestimate how much barley I was going to get off this field. I'm not going to get much more off of it, so I think the bigger trailer would have been way too big. But 2 loads isn't the end of the world, it's only just here. And as far as bales goes, I think I'm on 20 or 24 already. So we'll be in a very good position shortly to start with cows. Although I haven't got a lot of money to buy them, but start off small and build up. So that will go towards pig food. If and when I do pigs. And anything that I don't need I can always just sell. I think I'm going to sell the rest of it. So I've got 21,000 litres of barley. If I only get a few pigs I'm not going to need that much. Yeah, I think whatever else I get off this field I'm going to sell. Yeah, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20 bales so far. Yeah. Plus I've got some over at the at Drumard Arable. The ones I took off the field initially, I think there's 10 bales there. Excellent. Move that just out of the way. And I'm pretty sure when I went to get the lean green baling machine, that the potato field, the one that I made myself, was ready. So there'll be potato harvesting to do at some point too. That'll probably be the next episode, because this one I've got to get the bales onto a trailer and delivered down to the dairy farm. And off he goes again. This one I'll transfer over and it can do the soybean while I'm doing the other bits. So I might as well start it off. I'm going to get a headland in at either end, I think, just to help out, albeit a very narrow one, maybe 2 headlands. I'll leave that running for a minute. This I'm going to take to sell. It's not going to be a huge amount of money, but it all adds to the bank balance. And buying them cows. This is still, I say it's still a steep hill. It hasn't changed. It hasn't got any steeper or shallower. It's the same hill it was from the very first time I drove around the map, but yeah, still steep. What a shocker. Sell point 2 is doing the best deal. It's amazing. Should be just under 10,000, I think. Yeah, 9,050, I think. Now I need a trailer to put the bales on. I've had a weird idea. I'm going to try it. Am I going to try it, or should I just go for it? Kind of multi-purposing. We'll see. I'll try it, and if it works, you'll see it, and it'll be the best and freshest idea. If it doesn't work, we'll just go with a standard thing. You'll see what I mean when we get to it. I'm up at the store, and I had a few different options buzzing around in my head. I was looking at just getting a standard bale trailer. I haven't downloaded any other modded ones, or hadn't. My other option was I was going to go for the standard low loader, because I thought it's got the back ramps, I can drive up onto the back of it. And I thought, well, I could do that. I had issues with this, the Joskin Wago Loader. It's a black sheep modding mod. And every time I tried to drive up the ramps, the tractors that I was using, whatever, fell through the ramps. But if I'm going to use it as a bale trailer, it shouldn't be an issue. I say shouldn't. I'm going to get the 10 metre one. And the ladders are the bits at the front. I'm going to have it standard because I want to be able to access it from different angles. I think that's what I'm going to try and do. So, new purchase. It's quite long. Yeah, like I say, it hasn't got those the ladder bits at the front, because with the telehandler I might want to load on from here and extend it, or I don't know. We'll see how we get on. I'll try the ramps again. It might be it was just incompatible with the map or whatever. Now the problem I have got is this isn't going to pull it, is it? Because I had in my head I was going to use the standard bale trailer. I don't think this is going to pull it. Of course not. That would be too much to hope for. Although, we'll see. I'll get a tractor over here, and then maybe I can put this in the back just to transport it. If it falls through, then we'll know straight away it's going to be a problem. Well, it seemed to work. Let's put that back down. We'll work with the wheel loader anyway. I'm going to try it though with the tractor. What was interesting though, when I came down the steep hill and put my foot on the brakes, this slid down the trailer, which was a bit of a worry. So my options then are, I can load it normally, or I can drive up the ramps and put the bales on sort of sideways. Those are my options. Let me just try this, because if it does do it again, Oh no, it's fine with the wheel loader, but not so good with the tractor. Let's have a look. Let's make sure I'm lined up nicely. Yeah, when you get to the top, the wheels would drop through. Like that. Yeah, that's weird. So tractor doesn't like it, wheel loader, fine. Okay. Actually, I'll leave that out of the way in case I want to go that way. So, let's start loading. Like I say, there's a couple of ways I can do this. Hopefully the bales won't fall off. Stacking them 4 high is going to be a bit interesting. Haven't done that before. Now I have been reliably informed you can stack the bales 5 high if you choose to. Sounds a bit daring to me. Now I could really mess this up because I could put this... Oh, well, I'll see how we go. Now, I can drive up and load them on this way. This is where it falls through again. Having not done it the first time, it will do it this time. Just to really annoy me. Nope, we're fine. Although this doesn't look to be kind of the best way of doing it. I'll be truthful. So, like that, release the clamps. So you can put on that way, if you want to. Or just standard loading, I guess. It does make it so much easier being able to do them in 4s. I remember doing this on, oh, I can't remember what farm was it. Way back when. Trying to do 2 at a time. Or doing 1 at a time, then trying 2 and then falling all over the place and just it drive me mad. So this is actually working out way better. Now I've got to make sure I line this up properly so I don't knock the last stack over. Yeah, I could do it a little bit closer. Why is it not like that? That's strange. Why did the top bales move out? Don't know. That's assuming of course the tension straps are going to go over it, alright. I don't know. Again, that's a big assumption. So it seems to be the whole thing seems to be wobbling already. That's not a good sign. Please don't do that. That has got to be the neatest bale stacking I've ever done. That's just astounding. Before it all goes horribly wrong, I'm going to carry on as quickly as I can and get them all on there. You'll see me at the end, or you'll see it at the end, not me, but you'll be able to tell if I'm happy with it because I'll be grinning like an idiot and you'll be able to hear it. on the mic. Providing I don't make an absolute mess of this. You can probably hear me grinning. This is just amazing. Claws out. And back out. That is just astounding. I mean, alright, I know people will have done better. Actually, you know what? I'm going to get just that kind of perfectionist thing. Wow. Okay, let's get these straps on. There's enough of them. These bales are not going anywhere. Stay where you are, bales. I know I can do it centrally with one thing if I want to. That just looks incredible. I am blown away by that. I swear I mess it all up. Actually, let's just turn that a bit further. And that, as far as I'm concerned, it just doesn't get much better than that. I mean, yeah, you probably have, but I mean for me, wow. Strap it up before it falls over. There we go, done. Wow. Let's see how this fares, towing it back though. And fold that up. Get all the weight on the wheels. Incredible. I know it just sounds utterly ridiculous, but that has made my day. That is just... ah, it's like a work of art. So I'm going to take my trailer of bales and my inordinately cheesy grin and go back to Drumard and try and find somewhere to put them without them toppling over. It's lucky there's a lot of straps on there. I'm going to take this incredibly carefully. Got my beacons on. Where I'm going to put this trailer at the other end, I have absolutely no idea. Probably just stick it in a field for the time being and worry about it afterwards, but the fertiliser spray is on the left. I've just finished doing a second spray on my new field of sunflowers, field 29. My potato field on the right is ready to go. There will need to be some potato harvesting. Soybean will be going on fields 4, 5, 6, which is where the harvest has just moved over to. But that's it, that's the end of the episode. An incredibly productive, useful and happy episode. A lot of bales, not quite sure what I'm going to do with them all, but I hope you've enjoyed the episode. If you have, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free, and if you want to share the video, please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. As always, thanks for watching.